We've got the inauguration coming up on Monday, and that still gives Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Esquire Limited the third a couple more days to pardon a few thousand more people. So we thought we'd go into this. What if you were Biden and you were to pardon people? Who would they be?
I like it. I
You
like it.
like
It's
it?
going to be a
And
great segment.
then we're also going to touch into who this Ann Kirkpatrick is. We found out a little bit more information about her, the police chief of Nolens. So we'll touch on that real quick, and then we'll get into the pardons, who you would pardon. Should be a fun time, folks. So let's jump on into this and let's get going.
Let's rock and roll.
Our illustrious leader, Mr. Mensa candidate himself, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Esquire Limited the Third, has a few more days to pardon some more people. And it's like the people he's pardoned right now are just unbelievable. We went through it in a video before. Check that out and see who he was pardoning. You had a couple good ones you brought up in there. Do you want to touch back on that real quick?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was, I know that all of them were criminals that should not be pardoned. How about that?
Yeah, let's just say we're pardoning to pardon them. Pardon them.
Well, it's just kind of like everything else he's done in the last month. It's just doing shit to make the incoming administration's job harder.
Stirring the pot.
Stirring the
Trump
pot
has a
and
little
being an
more
asshole.
shit to deal with. Sounds like, right?
What's his name? He's on Gutfield. What's the wrestler's name that's on Gutfield?
Oh, Tyrus.
Tyrus. Yeah, Tyrus called him a retard.
A retard?
A retard. Yeah. Last night.
Ooh,
And you
old.
know, I looked up the definition.
A retard.
And
a
it is,
retard.
yeah, it is to hold back in terms of progress, development, or accomplishment. Our progress was retarded by unforeseen difficulties. Also, delay, slow down, slow up, hold back, set back, keep back. Lots of words that synonyms for that one.
Or
But really, the definition kind of explains the last 4 years that he's been in office, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That whole cabinet, him, and cackles herself.
Oh my God,
Christ, man!
they're both retards for sure. Oh my God. Yeah, no, that ought to be fun. So yeah, so he's gonna do good Lord. I don't know how many more pardons of stellar individuals, I'm sure. And all that. So we thought we'd come up with some of our own, that if we were Biden, who would we pardon? And boy, oh boy, do we have some doozies for you. We hope it gives you a couple chuckles and then a couple like, huh? What? And things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but first, I just want to touch upon this because this kind of came up today to me, and I talked about Grandma Harriet, the New Orleans police chief, and Kirkpatrick.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Somebody told me about this today and said, well, did you know that she actually ran over somebody with her vehicle? I'm like, what? What the? So I decided to look it up and check this out. This is just on the Wikipedia. And right now we've got, here's Ann Kirkpatrick, born in 59, so which makes her, 64? She looks a lot older than 64 to me, but who am I?
Some of us age better than
others.
others.
65, 66, somewhere in there. So she's something like that. So anyway, so she's a law enforcement officer. She was, with the New Orleans Police Department, of course. Prior to that, she was with Spokane Police Department up in Washington. And they always like to add an R in Washington.
Yeah, Washington.
And then drop it in Boston. Things like that. But anyway. And then she was the head of the Oakland Police Department, OPD. Baby, you and me. Or that something else. Anyway, so she was from Memphis originally. She had a career in the Memphis Police Department and then an officer in Redmond. And it goes on and on. Here she was in Oakland. She had some interesting things happen in Oakland. She was appointed by the mayor as the first female police chief or chief of police, which is a shocker because you never expect somebody to call out somebody's gender or race or anything like that.
It never happens.
Weird. So good for her being the first. Name number one. And Let's see. On the 6th of November in 2017, the chair of Oakland's Privacy Advisory Commission, Brian Hofer, and 7 others filed a complaint with Oakland's Citizens Police Review Board, claiming that Kirkpatrick had made false statements about an August raid in West Oakland. Let's see. The commission voted unanimously to fire Kirkpatrick, with Schaff joining in the decision as required by law, saying that the commission's trust in Kirkpatrick was irrevocably broken. And it goes on, retaliation reports, blah, blah, blah. In May 2022, so about 5 years later, it sounds like, the jury ruled partially in Kirkpatrick's favor, awarding her 1 year's pay of $337,000, which seems like a lot of money for somebody like her. And then evidence of retaliation played some role in her discharge, yada, yada, yada. Oakland agreed to pay her that amount plus her legal costs, totaling $1.5 million. Now, remember, City of Oakland is the taxpayer. So you taxpayer squelched $1.5 million. And how do you feel like your taxpayer dollars were put into that? It's pretty well spent, right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So later, she was superintendent of New Orleans Police Department.
How did she even get that job? Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know how you even got that. How she even got that job?
You go from Oakland to Nolans after all of that,
after all of that.
Yeah. So she was appointed interim superintendent by this LaToya Cantrell, the mayor, in September last year, or 2023, actually. And after confirmation by City Council, was sworn in superintendent in November 2023. Now, here's the interesting part. In August 2024, just a few months ago, he struck 2 pedestrians with her car while on duty, and she is still running the damn police department and doesn't know they had bollards and other barriers that they can put up to barricade off streets so people don't run their trucks down and kill people. Oh, oops.
She should be the first one to know that, right?
You would think. And we showed that video in the last one of the New Orleans podcasts we just did. I think it was part 1. Check that out. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. We had to bring that up because that, my friend, is some crazy shiitake mushroom right there.
Well,
can you believe that shit?
I'm sorry, but it just kind of shows the incompetence, dude. And that's
everywhere.
It's sad because when you're a kid, you think adults are smart, right? And you think adults have your best, and all adults have your best.
You always think your parents are pretty stupid, though, for the most part, until you get to
once you're a teenager,
right.
and then
you know everything.
25, you get out of college, you're like, this sucks. You were right. But really, I think as just a normal, average working American, you think the same thing about your government, right? You think they're smart. You think they have your best interest at heart. You think that they're making good, calculated, positive decisions about who they're putting in place where. But this just shows you it's either, somebody's paying somebody behind doors or they're just idiots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Oh yeah.
And it blows my mind like daily, dude. And it's only been, I guess, probably within the last, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months or maybe year that I really started paying attention to this kind of thing, especially talking with you. And then, making sure that I'm up to date with everything with the other casts and stuff like that. But it blows my mind, the incompetence that happens on the top tier levels. It leaves me speechless sometimes.
And it continues. It's on and on. It's not just LA. It's not just New York. It's not just Chicago. It's not just DC. It's not just San Francisco. I mean, we're talking New Orleans and Memphis, and it blows my mind. It boggles the mind.
Well, like Newsom, you know what I mean? When I first started hearing, things about him, I'm like, well, I don't know. I kind of on the fence with the guy. And then it's trip up and trip up and trip up and trip up after another.
Yeah.
And I'm finally like, this guy's an idiot.
And nothing
guy-
happens to him. No
Yeah,
pushback.
yeah,
or anything.
nothing happens to him. Yeah, there's no pushback, no slap on the wrist. I mean, I guess they're all kind of slaps on the wrist, but there's no hard, consequences for this guy, and it blows my mind.
It blows my mind. Not just your mind, buddy. Mine as well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anyway, that's our long intro to our podcast. So welcome aboard. I think we already kind of all did that already, but we're going to jump into now the presidential pardons that Joseph Robinette Biden is going to probably do for us. And we're gonna jump into this. I'll start off with who I would pardon if I were Biden, and see if you agree. So let me find out where my little notes were, because I was trying to do. Oh, here we go. So if I were Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., my number one pick, we're just gonna do like a dozen or so here and there, would be this guy right there. That's right. We're going to pardon Alvin Bragg for being the largest of the chipmunks. So that's my number one pick for that. All right, your turn. Who would you pardon?
My turn.
Biden?
I would pardon Donald J. Trump and all the alleged bullshit charges and everything that they have put upon him. Everything.
You being Biden, then you would do this.
Yeah, this is me being Biden.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I mean, he's out of his mind half the time anyway. So I think that he could get away with it.
Oh yeah.
And no one would ask questions. He just, you know what I mean?
Right. Interesting. Right.
I mean, he's doing it for his son, right? Of apparent crimes that his son didn't commit. And
so is he trying to? Is
least
he trying
could do
to
is do it for Trump.
get favor back in by pardoning Trump? Huh?
Maybe he wants to
try
be
to
a
save
senator.
part of his legacy. Anyway, interesting. All
Maybe
right,
he
my
wants to be a
second.
police superintendent.
Yeah,
I
no
don't know.
shit. Okay, so my next pardon would be our good friend from The View, Sonny Hostin. That's right. We're gonna pardon Sonny Hostin for being a complete idiotic moron by comparing January 6th to the Holocaust. 6 million people, Jews alone, in the Holocaust. This is classic. This is what she's going to get pardoned for by me, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Square Limited. The third, here we go.
January 6th was an atrocity, one of the worst moments in American history. And
Worst moment ever.
when you think about the worst moments in American
Don't worry about the
history,
riots of 2020, but
like World War II, things that happened, like the Holocaust, chattel slavery, we need to never forget, because past becomes prologue if you forget and erase. Whoa.
oh my God. How is that for you?
The
She
stretch.
needs to be pardoned for that, dude.
It's like
If
she
I
doesn't
bite-
even believe it. Yeah, it's like she doesn't even believe it, bro.
No, she doesn't.
It's insane.
She is what we call a Mo Ron.
Hyphen.
Yeah. Hyphen, exclamation, 3 exclamations. Let's put that right on there.
0101 /
Oh, no,
hashtag
no.
star.
Jeez. One person, Ashley Babbitt, got killed by a Capitol policeman. People walked through the Capitol, were escorted by the cops, if you've actually watched the footage.
Right.
And that is one of the worst days in world history.
World
Bigger than World War
history.
II. Bigger than the Holocaust. Oh my God.
It couldn't it bigger than like the Trail of Tears. Yeah. It definitely blows the Trail of Tears out of water.
Yeah, worse than the tsunami of 2004.
Jesus.
I mean, oh my God. All right, brother. Who do you got next?
So ours are kind of going in different ways. So if
I
I'm
told
Biden,
you to think outside the box.
again, yeah, if I'm Biden again, I'm gonna pardon Tulsi Gabbard for
Torturers.
the alleged claims that she was a Russian spy, basically. I'm giving her a pardon, and I'm gonna walk away from that one and say I made a mistake.
Well, take the
If
high
I'm
road.
Biden. Yeah,
Take the high road.
take it out right up the Air Force One stairs.
Wow, right up the stairs. We're gonna just take it right up there. Love it.
Right.
Dude. Good job, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. Esquire Limited. Way to go. All right, so my next little jewel that I'm going to pardon if I'm Joseph Biden is our good friend Cringe Jean-Pierre. Now, Cringe Jean-Pierre is being pardoned for making it very clear she couldn't tell the truth and was horrible at her job. Worst ever, in fact. Let's listen to a little compilation of Cringe during this section right here.
Look, the president was
Clear.
very clear yesterday. He's always going to be very clear about that. But just like we can be clear about, we made very clear that we've made very clear. But I want to make sure this is very clear. We've
She
always
says
been very
anything
clear.
that it's very clear.
But we've been very
She's
clear.
lying.
This is why we've been very clear about that. What I'll be very clear about is where our message to tech companies continues to be clear. Speak to what the president very clear and saying. I believe, and the president has been very clear. The president's been very clear. He's been very clear about that.
I think you see why I'm
Look,
pardoning
the
her.
president wants to give up, and just to be clear here, and so we've been very clear. The president's been very clear about this. He does. We've been
Not
very
extremely clear,
in August.
just very
He's been
clear.
very clear.
Clearly, she
Thanks,
needs to be
everybody.
pardoned.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I think you see why I'm pardoning some of these people.
She's so clear that you could see right through her.
Oh, you see very clearly right through her. Absolutely.
Oh.
I mean, it's classic. It's classic. So, all right, who do you got next?
My next one is the band Creed.
Oh, those.
Run
sons
by
of
not-
bitches.
I'm gonna pardon them for being like almost kind of cringe Jesus-y in the late 90s and early 2000s.
Fake Jesus.
And now they're kind of like they're like the dad go-to when you need some alone time and garage beers. So yeah, I mean they're kind of
What kind of
making their
beers?
comeback
Blood
to the I mean the picture of Scott Stapp, I mean alone, it's great.
Oh, classic. Gotta love Creed.
Yeah,
All
good
right.
old Creed.
All right. Okay. My next one. This also goes back a couple years there as well, and I think you're going to see why. Right here as we go. I as Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. am going to pardon Jeffrey Toobin for his Zoom call, which you may or may not have seen, but we're going to play it for you right now.
Oh, this is too good, dude.
Yeah, for basically, so we were going to pardon him for not realizing his webcam was still on, and he needs a pardon for this. And I'm surprised that he wasn't completely and utterly, permanently fired from CNN. They hired him back on, by the way.
Actually, hop on this call since I'm not on this account.
Stop off.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sean.
Just
Page are we on?
I'm sorry, we're on page 12, the second graph from the top.
Okay.
Jurgens.
Turn your camera.
My God.
So if you look, we're 0.15% higher than 2019. We started this quarter off at 2.75%.
Holy shit.
Now, of course, they put his face
I don't
over.
think
I don't know for sure, but I'm assuming. I could be wrong.
Call me.
Oh my God.
You called on his cell. Call on his cell.
Look at the gal on the
How
bottom
do we
right.
turn this speed off?
Wow, right below it.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Holy
Nobody got time for that.
Holy shit. Oh my
Cautionary
God.
tale. Start this one.
I was just like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay, that's got to be a pardon because this guy is definitely needs in need of one for sure.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, he needs one. That's probably the best one so far.
So far. they're hopefully getting better and better as we get along. So
Yeah, they are.
all right, who do you got next, brother?
I got Hegseth. If I'm Biden, I'm going to pardon him for my alleged accusations of him being a drunk Nazi.
Oh, yeah, you want to walk that one back for sure.
Yeah,
That could come back and bite you in the ass.
it could come back and bite you in the ass. Yeah, you got to be nice to those incoming leaders there. So
Definitely,
yeah,
love it. Okay, all right. The next clown I have here that I'm going to be pardoning if I'm Joseph Biden Jr. This guy's magical. This gentleman is magical, and I think you're going to see why once his face pops up on the screen. All right, are we ready? Here we go. That's right, Alejandro Mayorkas, Department of Homeland Security. All right, so obviously we're going to be pardoning him for, leaving the telling everybody the border is secure. The border, you just want to punch him in the face. So I'm going to pardon him for having offset eyebrows. They are not even. They're offset eyebrows. You can see the one's higher than the other right in here. Okay.
Oh my God.
For number one. And number two, for being an overall annoying son of a bee and having a punchable face. Just want to punch him in the face. As well as the most annoying, whiny piss ant, limp-wristed, emasculated voice of anyone with a penis.
Oh yeah, dude. Next to Cackle's husband, though, and that's
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? He reminds me of my sister when we were growing up. My sister's like 3.5 years older than me.
Okay.
But when we were growing up, she had Winnie the Pooh, right? That she got when she had to probably be 1 or 2 or something like that. And it was well worn by the time I came around, right?
Yeah.
And like all that, it was like this thing was just a monster, right? Of what it used to be.
Yeah.
And it came out and like she used to rub its ears in its head. And it was bald, of course, but it was like, and then like one or both of the ears were like chewed off or popped off. That's what that dude reminds me of, like his face. Is that old Pooh Bear? I can't remember what the hell she named it, but oh my God, yeah. Every time I see his face, I think of that goddamn Pooh Bear.
And you just want to take it and squeeze it, throw it across the room.
It's like it's time to trash this thing. Like the dog got a hold of it like 4 or 5 times. It was wrecked.
Yeah, it's all messed up. It's just
yeah. Oh shit.
Oh my God. All right, who do you got next?
Next up for me, just because I would like to think that I got a couple on here that have to do with sports, but I would like to think that if I'm Biden, I'm a sports fan, and
He likes to pretend
and
he is, at least.
yeah, and if I'm Biden, I know that sometimes you gotta cheat a little to get ahead, right? And those are both of my sports topics or people. First off is Pete Rose, because
God rest his soul, R.I.P. Pete.
Yeah, I love Pete, and I mean, if Nancy Pelosi can gamble and Biden can gamble, why can't Pete gamble, right?
Pete can gamble. Pete did gamble. So did Nancy. She didn't gamble at a casino that we know of. Well, she probably did, but she definitely gambled with the stock market for show.
That's white collar gambling, bro. That's what that is.
That's a big boy gambling.
Well, and with the insider trading, it's not even really gambling. It's just kind of like
you've hedged your bets for sure.
Yeah, it's like Biff having the sports almanac, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very true. Very true. Okay. Are we ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Okay. This next one is, I don't know if you're going to recognize this gentleman, but I'll explain to you who he is if you don't recognize him. And this is a gentleman of William Gates. I don't know if you ever heard of who this guy is, but William, aka Bill Gates.
Billy.
turning his head to the right when speaking at interviews. He always talks to you like
Constantly. Yeah.
turning his
Weird.
head always, and he looks at the camera through the side of his eye. He's a treat. He just, oh my gosh, just I love. There he is. But when he's always interviewed, he's always looking kind of. I didn't find the exact one I wanted, but if you've seen him being interviewed, his face is always turned this way, and he's looking straight as he's tilted his head, and that's what we're gonna have to pardon him for because it's annoying as shit.
Yeah, it is, but he's got to make sure his lighting's just right too. You know what I
No,
mean?
get my best side. Get
And,
the best side.
and he's got that tilt like you should feel sorry for me.
Right.
You should feel sorry for me that I'm a billionaire and billionaire and billionaire. Yeah, cheater.
Yeah, but I'm such a nerd. That's the only way I've even gotten married to begin with, and that I had all this money, and I'm a nerd. You know, who's got money?
Exactly.
And now he's trying to destroy the world and stuff, and you know, with these fake vaccines. Oh, oops.
What's fake about it? They've
For
got
real,
them.
they're safe and effective.
They don't even cause blood clots or heart palpitations.
No, and we don't need to do long-term studies on them.
No.
They work just fine, and they stop the virus, and you don't transmit the virus. It stops with the vaccine. They're safe and effective.
As long as I have it, you don't need to get it, right?
But you should still get it. Because
Just in
even though
case.
I'm protected, because this vaccine is unbelievably fantastic at a gauntlet at stopping the virus and keeping me from getting it or transmitting it. You should
Stop.
Just in
The
case, because
buck
I don't want to be
stops
around
here.
you if you're unvaccinated. I mean, I just don't want to be
Oh,
around
dude.
you.
It was so funny the relationships I lost because people didn't want to be around me because I wanted to stay at Dribbling. It's insane, dude.
She's my honorary pardon, Rachel Powell, for that clip. But I took it out because we're trying to, get about the same number, so we have an even number of. There's a ton more because there's thousands upon thousands of people we could probably pardon. If we're
Well,
joking.
I mean, speaking of that, I might as well throw out my next pardon.
Do it.
Dr. Fauci. Of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean,
I love it.
yeah, we're gonna
mean,
pardon.
You mean Alfred E. Newman from Mad Magazine? Fauci
Yeah, right.
guy? I have a shirt on our store, by the way. You can get Mad Scientist, Dr. Fauci, Alfred E. Newman. Go check it out. The rudebarn.etsy.com and check it out. And you can pick up that shirt. It's classic.
Yeah. Hop on there and grab one. Just it'll make him happy.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
which particular are you going to do a blanket pardon for everything he's done, or are you doing specifics on this one?
Well, more of starting the false narrative. Yeah, pretty much everything. I mean, there's starting a false narrative,
Everything
pushing
COVID related, or
pushing
vaccines?
a fake virus and a fake vaccine,
then
ruining
wear
the
a mask,
economy.
don't wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. You don't need
Yeah.
it. Now you need to double up on it. You mean that type of stuff?
Yeah, just basically everything. I mean,
Yeah.
might as well give him a blanket pardon. I mean,
Go back to
we've caused enough
1984.
damage as it is.
Absolutely. He is a treat. And I purposely left him off the list because I was thinking, I wonder if the Rude is going to do.
I mean, it was low hanging fruit, and
It was
it was
low-hanging
perfect timing. I was gonna do him number one, but I thought I'd bury him just a little bit. See if the conversation turned that way.
Probably smart. All right. Let's see. Let me go back in this for a second because I think. Here we go. My next guy. We did a couple videos on this guy, and I think you'll see why here in a second. He is a treat. He just gave us more fodder, as did his wife. And I'm going to explain the pardon for him that I would give as Biden.
Mhm.
And you will see why here in a second. And here we go. Let's do this. That's right, Tim. Walls to the balls, or balls to the walls.
Or tampons to the bathrooms.
The tampons to the bathroom. But really, this is the specific pardon I'm giving him. This is for his arranged marriage to his wife, because he clearly bats for the other team.
Yeah.
Look at him. Tell me he doesn't.
It's you, big guy.
His little hey everybody, hey, hi,
Yeah.
hi, hey, when he's walking down the stage. You can't tell me he doesn't bat for the other team.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
he's
psychopath.
yeah, he's definitely pinch hitting, that's for sure.
Right. So that's my next one. All right, what's your next one?
Well, I had to, I popped Fauci in there, but my next one was also sports related. It was again because I mean, if we Biden, he's got to be of the opinion if we ain't cheating, or yeah, if we ain't cheating, we ain't winning. Is that what it is? If we ain't cheating, we ain't
we
winning.
ain't doing our job.
It
or
goes
something
back
like
to
that.
the last election. It's gonna be Mark McGuire and Jose Canseco.
Oh,
Yeah, for
the
using
Roy Boys.
I mean, the Bash Bros, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, had they not done that, I mean, that was a great time of baseball, right?
Oh,
Had they not done that, it probably
Home run
wouldn't
derbies.
have been so great.
Oh,
So I don't blame them for that. But at the same time, they were taking performance enhancing drugs.
Wait,
what? But if I'm Biden, I'm gonna go ahead and pardon him for that because, like I said, if we ain't cheating, we ain't winning.
But just look at the eyes, look at the eyeballs that were on that whole scenario during that time when they were doing the home run derby during the season.
Oh yeah, dude.
They brought a lot of eyeballs to the.
They did. Yeah, I think they kind of re-sparked the sport. I mean, that was. I always look at like the best times were like
and the worst
the
times.
the 90s. Like we had a great time in the 90s, like late 80s. Well, like probably from the mid 80s until like 2000. You know what I mean? Like we had a great time. It was a great 15-year run of just like good stuff going on. Yeah, and it was a great time to be a sports fan. And I think it might have, ignited another little spark into baseball because traditionally
it needed it at that point.
Yeah, traditionally baseball, if you don't have a favorite team or you're not invested in somehow or like your favorite player's not playing or something like that, baseball, or if you haven't played or you're not playing or something like that, baseball's boring as balls to watch. I get it.
You have
but
to
I was I was a baseball player and I have a baseball mentality and I know how cerebral of a sport baseball is.
Right.
And so, I can sit down and just kind of watch a baseball game. Sometimes it's boring as balls, but at the
This
same
ball
time,
is very, very good to me.
But exactly. But at the same time, I understand baseball and I understand like it's fun for me to watch that way, even if I don't have anything invested in it, like favorite team or player or anything.
Right.
But anyway,
love it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, Mark and Sammy, good job. I like it.
Jose. It was Jose.
Sammy Jose Canseco. I thought it was Sammy was also part of that. Wasn't he one year?
Well, yeah, he was. He came on kind of at the end of their reign. He came in and started just.
But I think he and McGuire were also doing that at the time as well.
Yeah, they were.
Canseco 1 year and then Sammy one of the next year or something. I can't remember. All right. Well, that was another good one there. Rude, way to go.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, I think you're going to agree with this one. There's really not a whole lot to argue about because there's nothing you can say to debunk what I'm about to say. My reason for pardoning this gentleman, and I say that with air quotes. We're talking. That's right, Merrick Garland. He's getting a big old pardon for transitioning to a man. And no one even noticed. Right?
No one even noticed.
No one even noticed. He transitioned to a man. That's what he's getting pardoned for. So no one cared. No one even noticed or cared.
Yeah, no, there's not very many transitions from woman to man.
Right.
But there's a lot from man to woman. I wonder why that is.
I know.
I wonder why that is.
They play sports. They want accolades. They want to win. Apparently.
Apparently they're not feminists, even though they claim to be. Huh. Odd.
All right, what you got now?
My next one is Tony Hinchcliffe. If I'm Biden,
who's this guy?
If I'm Biden, yeah, who's this guy? I'm gonna go ahead and pardon Hinchcliffe. For I mean, just all the jokes, all the laughter that he's brought us over the past year, I guess, just bashing. Because, and if I'm Biden, I'm gonna pardon him because because I want the jokes to stop. You know what I mean? If I'm Biden,
Enough.
I mean because I mean, I don't know if anybody watching knows who Hinchcliffe is or knows his show Kill Tony. There was a great, probably one of the best episodes I saw was when Adam, oh crap, I can't remember his name, and when they did Trump and Biden parody on the show. Why did Shane Gillis?
Yeah, I can't
did
remember
Trump
that. Yeah.
and Adam, can't remember his last name. Anyway, hilarious.
Not Kinzinger or Driver or Corolla or
he's been in comedy for
and Eve.
But yeah, so so I'm gonna pardon him for making so much fun of me because it hurts.
Because you don't have a sense of humor.
It hurts deep down inside. Listen.
Anyway. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So my next person of pardon is going to be somebody that you may have, and maybe you're sensing a little bit of a theme here, although I'm not going to go beyond this one for this particular correlation right here. But I think you're going to see why here in 1 second. That's right, it's Whoopie.
Oh, dude, I was gonna put Whoopi on. I'm glad I didn't because I got a lot to say
what?
about
If we cross,
it.
we have the same.
I probably shouldn't.
Somebody really needs to be pardoned from. Let me tell you why.
The thing was, dude, is I couldn't bring myself to do it. You know what I mean? I couldn't bring myself.
You should have
all my morals.
The bull by the balls and done it. Forget the horns. You take them by the balls and you do it. You know what I'm saying? Next one. We'll do some more, I'm sure. But yeah. But this is the reason. I am pardoning Whoopie for her Mad Max hairstyle. I mean, who else could get away with shaving the side of your head, putting the dreads in there? I mean, does she have a role in the new Mad Max Fury Road movie or something? I can't remember.
Very Last of the Mohicans.
Very Last of the Moronkins. Because she's another moron also.
Oh man, every time she opens her mouth, you know what I mean? I just want to hit her with a baseball bat.
Oh yeah, she's a delight. She's another Mensa candidate, so let's use that one.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Moving on.
My next one is I'm gonna pardon Kid Rock because he's so American that
too American.
He's too American, and I want to come off like I'm for the people. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pardon Kid Rock for being too American and an American badass. So.
And blowing away some Bud Light with an AK-47.
Yeah, exactly. Our favorite beer, kid. What's his real name? Robert? I can't remember what his real name is.
I can't remember either. You should look that up. Yeah, that's awesome. Kid Rock. I like it.
Kid Rock.
All right. Okay. So my next one is somebody you may or may not have seen on TV. So my next person to pardon. Again, you may recognize her, you may not. You may not have seen her lately in the news, and yet you may have. Kamala!
Oh, Miss Cackles herself.
Cackles herself.
Yay.
And I'm pardoning her for this. For changing the pronunciation of her name and insisting it's pronounced Kamala when she used to insist it's pronounced Kamala. And it sounded more like Obama.
So, yeah, there has to be more emphasis on the A, Kamala. But now it's Kamala, right?
No,
I think it's because...
It's like comma, like a comma.
La. Yeah, because she doesn't want to be associated with Obama anymore because she got snubbed. Because she got snubbed by
rhyme with Obama, Kamala.
Yeah, Obama snubbed her at the funeral.
Oh, that's she
Yeah,
how
no,
she pissed she was.
She got all pissed off.
Oh, I can't believe he's actually talking to me. Really? Oh yeah, no, it was pathetic. But
It was hilarious.
Yeah, even beyond that, I couldn't find the one where she did the. I just didn't have time to look for it at this point because we don't do this full time. This is kind of a side gig that we do, and so we kind of try to put it together as soon as we can. But anyway, so I couldn't find it, but I did find a couple things where they're talking about comma law and how she changed her accent depending on who she was talking to.
Oh yeah.
So let's check this out.
She also has the weird habit. I can't figure it out. Giggling at all inappropriate moments like these.
That's yet another blank.
Do you have plans to visit the border?
Not today. More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring the kids and said, we're not paying them nearly enough.
What's your response to reports of
I know a lot of people have died in that
United
explosion.
States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But in case you didn't know, hard hats are actually unisex. Everybody's laughing.
I asked for the yeas and nays.
Is there a sufficient second?
She also has the weird habit.
I mean, oh my goodness. It is just. I have one more. Let me see if it's even worth playing. That she's done. Oh, here is the accent. So this is part of the blanket pardon. Changing the pronunciation of her name. Cackling at the most inappropriate times. Like I said, like it's just horrible and tragic that so many people have died in the fire in LA. I mean,
an idiot.
Oh my God, Mo Ron as well.
It's to break the tension because she brings the tension.
Right.
And people know that she's completely full of shit.
Right.
So it's just to break the tension. And it's like you have to cackle after everything you say, especially when you're talking about real issues that affect real people. You fucking idiot. I'm sorry.
Well, remember, you dropped the old F-bomb there.
Sorry.
That's all right. We do that occasionally. Yeah, and I mean it's just I think we talked about this before, and I think it's a nervous reaction for somebody who doesn't have a good answer or is unprepared, and so she tries to brush it off with a little cackle, little giggle, little laugh to bring down the tension.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Because she has no answer. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what she's talking about.
Well, she was the queen of deflection too.
Queen,
you know what I mean?
queen. She was the queen of the queens of deflection. I mean, she was head queen. She was a queen's queen. Okay. So the other part of the pardon, and it's a blanket pardon for Kamala, are the accents. She used to change her accent depending on who she was talking to. Remember all that?
Oh yeah.
Let's listen to a little bit of this, and then you'll see why I had to blanket pardon.
This is gonna make my day.
Empathy, man.
Yeah, right.
For the suffering of other people.
Is it Irish? Is it Jamaican?
No.
Have you no pints left at the bar?
Just like when she did the black accent. And we gonna do it again in 2024.
You all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024. We like hard work. Hard work is good work.
Better thank a union member for sick leave.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
Thank you for the question. I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
She's wild. She's committing to the bit, but it always fails.
I think you see why I had to pardon her.
Oh my God, dude. So good.
Unbelievable. All right. So I'm going to jump into another one. I think you only have one left or something like that. So I've got a couple more, and I don't want to hog the whole thing. So you have a couple in there. But all right. This one, I wish I had the video, but I just threw this in here real quick because I think you can see why. This is somebody else I think we just mentioned a little bit ago, and I think you're going to recognize her. It's Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, yeah. Good
We're going
old
to pardon
Nancy.
Pelosi for wearing that African scarf and kneeling for black people after the George Floyd incidences. Talk about cultural appropriation and talk about pandering to a specific group of people when you're supposed to represent all of the people in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's a video after it shows she couldn't get. Now, I'm not knocking old people because shit happens when you get older. But man, two people had to help her up out of this kneeling position that she had to go down into.
Isn't that
and help her up to a standing position?
Isn't that when she threw out her hip? What did she just get worked on, her hips or her knees?
Oh, this was in 2020, so yeah, no,
right.
She just threw out her hip now, and good Lord, and you know what? When you get old, you better take care of yourself because if you break a hip, I mean that's a death sentence right there.
Yeah, it's like putting down a horse, man. It's,
yeah.
Break a leg and it's just you gotta put it down.
I am not making fun of that at all.
No, not at all.
I am just saying, man, there's just if you're, she's what 84 at least, I think. God. When you get to be in your 80s and you fall and you break a hip, your days are numbered sooner than if you hadn't done that, of course. And it's a sad thing. I'd hate to have her go through something like that. That's not the type of people we are, wishing, bad things on people who have been horrible their whole lives in politics as far as our opinion is. But,
our opinion, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, yeah, I think one of my grandmas, I think she was early 80s, if I'm not mistaken, when she died.
Oh, okay.
But she was going steadily downhill, fell and broke her hip.
Yeah.
Dude streamlined it. Like not even, I think it was like not even a month later. It was just,
yeah,
it was curtains.
Yeah, and it's a shame. I mean, it really is a shame.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway, so she gets a blanket pardon for, stunts like that. And, it is what it is. And, but for wearing that scarf was just the straw that needed to be pardoned because let's face reality, that was pathetic.
Yeah, it was pathetic. It was out of town, man.
Oh man. Okay. Go into yours, and then I have two last ones. Really, we're talking probably the cream of the crop of the two who really need the pardons on my end. I want to see who your numero uno is.
Well, I don't know, man. If I was gonna do that, I probably would have did Fauci as my last one, my bombshell.
Yeah.
But the last one I had on my list was Jon Stewart.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna pardon Jon Stewart. Yeah, because he's always gone left, and then he started going right.
Or at least center.
And then, he started moving right, so now he's kind of center-ish. And I'm gonna give him a pardon for that because I again, like the Hegseth, I'm tired of being bashed by Jon Stewart. I'm tired of him pointing out when I fall asleep in Africa.
Yeah.
I don't want him to point that out on national television.
You mean, and then when you looked at your watch for the 13 service members who died in Afghanistan, you looked at your watch every time they brought somebody out, like, how much longer do we have here? I mean, yeah, right. You get a pardon for that. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, brother. For my last two. This one is just the other day, and it's really a blanket pardon for being a douchey douche for the last 20 years you've been in politics in California. And this is going to be oil slick hairback himself, Gavi, the Gavster Newscum, and it is going to be something that you're just gonna sit there and go,
You're gonna pardon him for the
oh my God,
mismanagement?
I'm gonna pardon him for being such a douche on all of this. I'm gonna find it. Here it is. And you'll see why.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land concerns he has around speculators.
I'm excited about what I'm thinking
Dude, I
about.
saw this morning on the sports show, dude.
What's going on with that? I got music in me, man. Woo! I got the music in me.
And here he is again,
I
showing
got music in
just
me.
how personable he is.
My humble position.
Now look at his hand gestures. This is another reason I'm pardoning him.
Just being naively optimistic. That only reinforces
I hate
the imperative moving quickly, doing in the spirit of collaboration and cooperation.
He's overstimulated, perhaps taking California dreaming way too far.
Exactly. The best possible explanation. And I got one. The other one I had was the same one, I believe. But that's what we're doing. We're going to pardon Gavin Newsom for being Mr. Slickback douchey douche for all these years, pulling this kind of horse shit and fooling the public to keep voting for him because they think he's just so.
Yeah, Mr.
What is this? What is this shit he was doing? What are you trying to do there, Gavs?
Yeah, Mr. Joe Cool. What was that? Was that the Snoopy? It's just I don't know, man. The crazy thing is like I don't know how he's still fooling people into voting for him. It's crazy to me.
I'll tell you why. Because I figured this out the other day. When you're a Democrat, and we're not Republican nor Democrat, we're independent. So we look at both sides, we chastise both sides, and we will compliment and give accolades to both sides when things are done for the people in the right way.
Yeah, okay? when it's merited.
Yeah. But so we will criticize, eye patch boy Dan Crenshaw. He gets chastised for being a douche and wanting the pay raise and not even thinking about the American people. Anyway, things like that, for example. Mm-hmm. So we try to be fair and criticize both sides when needed, and we also compliment when both sides need it. The problem with a lot of these blue-blooded, staunch Democrats and lifelong Democrats is this is why they keep voting for people, in my opinion, from what I'm kind of gathering over time, is that they feel that these people are kind of like family members to them. And when you insult somebody like Gavin Newsom and say that he's just Mr. Slicky Slickback, oil slick hair, who hasn't done shit for California and hasn't, he had a how many $1 billion bill that went through on Prop 1 year 2014 to build reservoirs and all that. And never did one of those.
Yeah, not
unless
one of them got built.
Yeah, unless we have all the fire problems still. And then oddly enough, there was one the other day. I don't know if you heard about it, but you insult them or you criticize them for the shit that they do. They get offended like you just offended their mom or their dad or their family member.
Yeah,
and that is how I'm seeing that this is how they treat their people. And then when you say something, man, you are offending. You've just insulted the family.
You've insulted the oligarchy. Yeah,
right. Yeah. You've disrespected the family. And that's how they treat and that's why they keep voting for. I don't know why they keep voting for them, but they consider them like family members or something. I don't know what it is.
I don't think you're wrong there. I think that's kind of a good explanation, and I think that it's like that. It's like they do false guarantees to people who are in positions like that on their side. And then it's just kind of forced upon the Republic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And remember, their people, their family members can't do anything wrong. So when you point out something that they've done wrong, they get very offended. They get very defensive, and no, it's the Republicans. Hey, you're right. The Republicans also pull some bullshit. But I'm talking about your guy who's actually pulling bullshit right now that's right in front of you, and I'm showing you evidence, and you still are denying it.
Do you think after this debacle that he's still serious about potentially running for president in 28?
Of course he is, because he doesn't think he's done anything wrong. He already wants to build LA 2.0.
Oh yeah, he's super stoked about that. But you know what he did do that I got to give him credit for? I saw that he signed a bill that is going to stop big land grabbers from coming in and offering lowball offers to
Pennies
these
on the
people
dollar
for their land. So that is one good thing that I saw Gabby do. Everything else
in the right way. I mean,
what's that?
Providing he does it in the right way, because I'm very leery about his true intentions behind that.
I mean, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to see how it plays out, definitely. Yeah. But I'm glad that he at least took some sort of initiative to do something decent for those people and their homes and their lost.
Well, yeah, because he talked to
livelihoods.
The governor of Hawaii, and where they did that in Maui. They're trying to do the land grab there, and he's trying to avoid that here, which he should.
Mm-hmm.
He should be. And real quick on that, people have to remember too. When the insurance companies, they had no other choice. They were supposed to be promised that the fires would be mitigated, that there would be hydrants, there would be reservoir water, there would be all this stuff to limit and minimize the damage that was going to be done. That never happened. That is why, unfortunately, conveniently, a couple of weeks or a month before the big fires that have ravaged through LA currently and the last couple of weeks, that's why they decided to drop policies. They're not in the business. Like I said, they're not in the business to go out of business. So
after we reported that on a week and a half ago.
Yeah.
About how they actually did their own research and they were like, whoa,
we're going to be out of business.
And here's the thing that to go back to that a little bit is that I think it was just bad timing, to be honest with you, because like you said, the fires usually happen and those winds usually happen in early fall, early to mid fall,
November usually.
Yeah, and then that's when you're going to get really get the threat of potential fire damage to these places. Well, they canceled the policies, just a few weeks before this happened, but statistically, this wasn't supposed to happen this time of the year. Those winds weren't supposed to happen. And if those fires broke out at this time of the year and the winds hadn't, been an issue, it wouldn't have got as bad. It wouldn't have been as, as tragic. I think, whatever started the fires, they could have been put out relatively quick and easy. Obviously, a firefighter's job is not quick and easy, so I'm not minimizing that. But at the same time, as far as people, damage to property, and everything like that, it could have been done a lot quicker if those fires hadn't have added to the destruction. So really, honestly, I think it's just bad timing, because I'm on board with State Farm. They're in business to stay in business. They're not in business to be bankrupt over this area of what did they say, dude? What did they say? It was like,
well, you had premium
number. It was
caps.
like was it correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 10 billion.
No, it was 10 times that.
Was it 100 billion?
It was a 100 to 200 billion dollars of damage that I've heard of so far.
Right, I just saw that number. I couldn't remember. Thank you.
Yeah. But the problem was that California put the regulations and the caps on what people could be charged a premium for their homeowners insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So California was paying a quarter of what they pay in Florida, because there's a lot of hurricanes that go through there. They're paying probably half of what the average is across the U.S. And so that was the problem. There weren't enough premiums coming in to cover the potential damage that could go through and something as catastrophic as this. And these insurance companies, apparently, I don't know enough about it, but this is from kind of what I've heard, kind of work together. So when you have a State Farm, for example, that can't really cover the losses with the number of homes that they're insuring in areas like this, they also go and work with other insurance companies who kind of fill in the gaps, if you will.
Yeah.
So you had that, and that's what was part of the problem. Plus, you saw the video of the family who was filming a fire that had broken out. 45 minutes later, they finally had tanker helicopters and whatever to drop retardant and water on the fires. Usually they respond a lot faster than that. They could have maybe knocked this thing down. Then the other video, if you've seen this, of those kids in the Pacific Palisades fire, were up on the hill by this Skull Rock place. I don't know if you saw this video.
I don't know.
And the static camera from the Forest Service or whoever it was that monitors the hillsides or whatever had a camera on it and showed a guy right when the fires was starting. And then these kids, this kid, Benji Oren, had as an account. Jesse on Fire talked about it. Check his video out because he shows a lot of this stuff. And these kids are running down the mountain. Oh man, that went quick. And they're laughing like, wow, that's coming out. And then they try to turn it around like, oh man, we were just up there, the exact same spot. And then all of a sudden the fire started. And now it's coming after. We got to run. And they're trying to do this viral video of them running from this fire that apparently they started. So now you have kids like this starting these fires when these winds are blowing. And then you had all these supposed allegedly illegals and homeless folks and others who were starting little fires, and that's how all these fires kind of started. They didn't start naturally. It wasn't like lightning strikes that started these fires. So there was a lot of that going on, still going on, trying to do it. Homes that are still standing, people have to realize, okay, you didn't get lucky. You didn't get lucky that your home didn't burn, because the smoke damage and the water that was probably splashed onto that from the fire folks have flooded your house, have smoke damage in the walls. You have to tear that down to the studs, treat that so that there's each of the studs so that there's no smoke smell coming through. Your house is basically destroyed. It didn't burn down, but it's also basically destroyed.
Never going to be the same. And the thing is too is the water.
Don't forget the mudslides coming in from the rains soon.
It's already happening.
Yeah.
I saw this morning that I saw on our local news. Half a house slid down the hill.
Yeah.
Because the water now, the ground's so wet from the water that was used to put out what they could. Yeah. It's soaked into the groundwater, and now we're getting mudslides.
Yeah.
Already.
I know. Yep. And the rains haven't even started yet. Yeah. When our house almost burned down, it didn't. We backed up to a hillside, came down, filled up about 3 feet of mud in our backyards, and went up into the house and seeped into the the doors and their sliders and shit like that. It was a nightmare, and I'm telling you, it's going to take a good decade on average to get this sorted out with insurance. So these folks that may or may not have lost their homes are going to be fighting for a long time. And now that you don't have the coverage for the insurance, I don't know what those folks are going to do, but it's going to be nuts.
Well, going back to Gavi, I think he might have, now that I think about it, I think he might have signed that bill because he's probably in bed with whoever he's going to choose to develop LA 2.0.
Okay, you know what? That's just a conspiracy theory. Rude. I don't think he would ever do something like that. No, he is an angel. I don't know if you ever kind of noticed the halo that kind of sits right above his slick back hairline. I don't know if you noticed that, but he wouldn't do that.
All right.
What the hell you're thinking?
Maybe it's just me thinking crazy.
But I'm going to pardon him for all of that. And I think I'll go back to at least 2014 as well.
Yeah,
because I consider Gavi like my son, Bo, who died fighting in Iraq. Oh, wait. No, he actually didn't die from fighting anything. Anyway, irregardless. I'm going to blanket pardon Gavin for just being Gavin Newsom and destroying one of the most beautiful states that I grew up in and making it virtually impossible for anyone who's earning their keep there. If you're illegal and you're home, everything's yours, man. Just we'll take it from the people who are making money and we'll give it to you, no problem. Sure, so that's my blanket pardon for Gavi.
All right, who's got the
the piece de resistance?
Who gets the golden shower?
not as Brian, not as big of an intro, not as big of an explanation as our good buddy Gav, the Newscum, but I think you're going to agree this has to be one of the greatest reasons to pardon someone, because this guy will never live this down. I hope he never does, but I'm going to pardon him anyway, so you bastards stop making fun of him. Chuck Schumer, Mr. Grillmaster Flash, Charles Ellis Schuler, for being Grillmaster Flash for putting American cheese on a raw burger patty on the grill. And then I'm also going to pardon him for having the most annoying voice after Mayorkas.
Oh, can't stand Schumer.
I mean, this guy can cook me a burger any day of the week. I'm telling you.
Leave that
and make
cheese
sure you
on
put
there.
extra cheese on there for me there, Chucky.
It'll melt eventually.
Oh, it'll melt eventually. Into the grill when he flips it over. So that is basically who we would pardon if we were Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., Esquire Limited III, trying to get our last few pardons in. Those are going to be the cherry on top of the myriad of thousands and thousands of people that he's going to take off of death row. He's going to take off of, serving life sentences for rape, murder, and whatever else, because that's very vitally important you do that.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna do them, we might as well do all of them, all right?
Exactly. So, if you have somebody that you would like to pardon if you were Joseph Biden Jr., please put it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And you know what? Maybe we'll make another video just like this of some of the pardons that you guys suggest to us as well. We'll come up with some more also. But I think, the last couple days that Biden's in office, he's going to probably pull some pardons right out of the sphincter.
The crazy thing is I would bet my life that some of the pardons that he's going to do are going to be even crazier than the shit that we came up with today.
Right.
That's the crazy thing, dude.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I was like, when I decided that this would be a fun video to do to keep people laughing, I hope, is that, you know what, I'm just gonna go crazy nuts in my pardons and see how out there I could get for pardoning somebody for the stupidest shit. I mean, I had several others that we didn't go into because I would have had a ton more, but we can do another one, I'm sure, and all that. So if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, comment on who else, and share it, and comment on who you would pardon as well, and anything else. And please look at our merch store, because we have the Fauci shirt. Mr. Alfred E. Newman himself, mad scientist.
Your very own Fauci shirt.
The rudebarn.etsy.com. Check it out. There's a bunch. I'll throw some screenshots up here so you can see some of the stuff we have in there. We also want to thank our good friends over at the Bearded Viking.
Yeah, don't forget to check out the Bearded Viking. Get you some booze for the new year. Beardedviking.com. We got the new flavors up. You can grab some merch. You can grab some booze. Check out the Hooch Finder. See where you can get it. See if it can be shipped to you.
Yep.
And have some fun with it. It's good. Good stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot coming out. And check it out. We just added 12-ounce bottles. So so you can get some 12-ounce bottles. Mm-hmm. And those are going to be good. We're calling them Mickeys or Minis or something like that. I don't know. We haven't nailed down it, but those ought to be a lot of fun and good. And you can try maybe a little bit. You can get all four. If you don't want to commit to one.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also check out the Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys on Rumble. Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Do a live show every Tuesday night, right?
Yeah, we do a live show and have some fun with it. Mostly centered around men's mental health. We pop into the news a little bit and into conspiracy stuff, but mostly it's a men's mental health focus. So or
you're
just
on there
mental
quite a
health
bit.
in general.
Yeah, you're on there quite a bit. Yeah, and maybe you'll even have me on one time if you.
Yeah, we'll get the barn on and have some fun and see if we can make him cry.
We will totally make him cry.
We're good at that, man. Al, my brother Al hosts the show, and he's broken 3 people so far. So
awesome.
pretty good, man.
He's
Getting
not
into
going to
deep
break
stuff.
me, dude.
Yeah, we get into some good stuff here.
Break me at all.
But thanks for watching, everybody. We had a great time doing this, and hopefully we kept you chuckling and laughing, and we're looking forward to next time we can chat with you.
Absolutely. All right. Appreciate everybody, and then make sure you get your pardons in.
Yeah, get your pardons in. Hurry. Time's
All
almost
right.
up.
Have a good one, bud. Thanks for joining the podcast, and we'll see you on the next one.
Later.